이제 그래서 뭐 해야 되지? 조사 다 한 거 같은데? 상상 시간을 안 했구나, 내가. 약 찾느라 정신 팔려가지고. 자, 상상 시간. 이번엔 뭔가 좀 많아. 이 사람들은 다 도망치는 사람들인가? 자, 보자. 여기서부터 보자, 그러면. 누가 끌려 나오는 거 먼저? 같이 걸은 게 아니라 살짝 끌려갔죠? 오케이. 그리고 여기서 피가 튀었어. 저 사람이 칼에 맞았기 때문에. 잠깐만, 뭐지? 얘가 지금 뭐하고 있는 거야? 얘가 벗어나려고 하는 건가? 아무튼 그래서 칼에 맞았어. 그래가지고 이렇게 했고, 아 맞아, 목걸이가 이렇게 풀어져 있었지. 목걸이가 이렇게 파바박 됐고, 여기서 누군가가 쫓아가서 우당탕 이 새끼야 일로와 이래가지고 이렇게 딱 해서. 칼은 언제 찔린 거지 그러면? 잠깐만. 아, 이미 여기에는 칼이 찔린 상태구나. 아, 이렇게. 밀쳐진 발자국이 없지 않나? 아, 칼이 여기 봐. 지가 찔렸어. 칼 들고 있는 위치가 지가 넘어지면서 팍 맞은 거임. 그럴 수도 있다. 오!
So we have a thug who came to take a refugee woman with him. She resisted, but he dragged her by force. One of the refugees stood in his way, armed with a stick, yet he could do nothing against a cutthroat with a blade. The man didn't anticipate that the other refugees would intervene and stand against him.
도망갔어.
In the confusion, the woman managed to break free. The thug took fright and fled. He was stopped by the falling crates. He stumbled and fell, piercing his chest with his own blade. However, the wound didn't cause instant death. He managed to stand, but still bleeding, he lost his balance on the bridge and fell. Before all of this, the man had freely entered the camp through the main entrance. The police admitted him after they had a short smoke together.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. In our man's case, it's the same sword.
실패한 납치.
You still here?
보자.
Inspector,
대화를
I believe
한번
I can aid your
대화하는
investigation.
시간.
I know who the dead man is and what really happened here.
You do? Well, good for you. But I'm afraid I'm not the one you need to share your findings with. Speak to Mr. Harlow here. He's the one responsible for settling things in the camp.
You don't even
저
care to
사람
listen?
얼굴 너무
I do
노란데.
care. Maybe even more than I need
어디
to.
아프다니까?
But I'm only here today to lock the place up, question witnesses, and file the facts. It's sad,
어서오세요.
but coming up with conclusions is not among my tasks here. You fellows at City Hall do that. Anyway, speak to the supervisor. I'll just stand by and listen to what you have to say.
오케이, 대화를 한번 해보자고.
Mr. Harlow, your refugees didn't murder anyone.
What? Pray tell me what you've learned.
All right, listen carefully. This might solve one problem for you, but will create a few more.
Oh, Well, that's a great start.
The
추리하는데
man
그렇게
came to the
어렵진
camp
않아요.
intending
그냥
to kidnap one of your
귀찮을 뿐.
refugees, a woman.
어,
What he didn't expect
어렵진
was that the
않고.
refugees would stand up to protect the woman. A brawl had broken out. In the chaos of it, the man stumbled over those crates and fell on his own blade.
How do you know he fell on his own blade?
The wound in his chest was inflicted from an unusual angle. It was not an offensive stab, shall we say. The refugees didn't touch him. And judging by the blood at the scene, the intruder managed to raise himself but was unable to walk very far.
근데 너무
He
상상 추리긴
ultimately
하다.
fell into the canal.
예상 아님 어떻게
How
보면.
did he sneak into the camp?
아마 이렇게 됐을
Why didn't the
겁니다.
police see him?
And this is where your new problems emerge, Mr. Harlow.
What do you mean?
You're not a dull-witted man. You know what I mean. There is no feasible way to get into the camp without the police guards knowing of it.
The pile of mess I had to sort out has just become bigger, but somehow that doesn't surprise me. Anyway, I thank you for your help, Mr. Holmes. I'll take it from here. Meanwhile, I'll make sure the police aren't detaining the refugees any longer. You can go back in and look for your witness.
이제 난민들이랑 대화할 수 있겠구만. 드디어 이 여자 하나 찾으려고
Who
지금.
knows, John? Just one ill-fitting cog could make the whole machine crumble.
당신인가요?
Are you able to help me?
Sorry. We don't see much here.
아니구만.
You're the one who tended to our man's wounds. I thank you greatly. The police didn't allow us to help him.
The police will leave you alone now. I've proven to them that the man who came into the camp died due to his own foolishness.
Thank you for standing up for us. But nobody would help us without a reason. You're here because you
얘네
want something.
보니까
Yes,
루카한테 뭔가
I need to speak
미안해지는데.
with the girl drawn
루카를
here.
체포하지 말걸.
The dead man came for her too.
아, 루카.
He wanted to take the girl away. But we
아무리
won't allow her
생각해도
to
너무
be
아쉬워.
hurt again. What do you want from Nayla?
Naylor. She was hurt some time ago. I'm here to find the people who did this and bring them to justice. And to find them, I need Naylor's help. Will you let me speak to her?
Justice. There's no justice on this land. But you helped us, so maybe your words are not empty. You can speak to Nayla, if she wants it. But I will be watching you.
Hello, Naylor?
웃는 거야?
My name is Sherlock. I know someone hurt you. I am here to help. I'm trying to find the people involved and bring them to justice. Please. There is a photograph, and I'm sorry, it is terrible, but I simply must ask. Where did this happen? What can you tell me about these people? Christ, Sherlock.
일단 대화가 매끄럽지 못하구만.
I'm sorry. I'm not very good at this.
You come here for me, but you are rude and cruel and condescending. A cross. The man had this cross. Now go away. Leave us be. I do not need another white man's help.
닐라 체포.
Oh, glad that wasn't me.
Not my best work, John, by a long shot. Naylor doesn't want us meddling. I'm starting to wonder what this all achieves.
이 남자는 이곳에 우연히 온 게 아니다. 이 문신이 우리 시마리를 푸는데 도움이 될지도 모른다.
But she helped you
이걸
anyway.
누구한테
Now we know
물어본다?
that maniac's face and the cross he wore, we can still catch him.
At least some of your kind have a heart. Thank you again.
쟤한테 다시 가보자.
I owe you a lot, Mr. Holmes.
You still here?
The
문신.
intruder has a most peculiar tattoo on his neck, 2 lines and a point. Do you know anything about it?
You really want to know, kid? Why? You want to play a policeman or something?
I'm sure you have it in your records, so it won't hurt if I have it in mine.
In my records, it's just a tattoo, as it should be in yours. Ah, to hell with you. Suit yourself as to what you're going to do with it. Off the record, though, such tattoos are often connected to a man named Mr. Niccolo Bernadotti.
니콜로
Bernadotti, you say?
버나도티.
A respectable businessman in Scalario. His company imports goods and wines, and smuggles everything that can be smuggled between the colonies and the mainland. His people can be identified by an obscure tattoo, just like the one over there our friend has. But these are all merely rumors, you see. If Mr. Bernadotti was a criminal, he'd be in prison now. Or hanged, right?
보자. 밀수 조직을 운영하고 있다는 소문이 있다. 이거 조사하러 가봐야 되네? 일단 증거도 대충 이어놔 놓고 보자. 발자국, 절도기, 절도기, 화랑도둑이랑 이거랑 동일 인물이다. 화가에게 들켰다가 살해당했다. 석탄가루랑 석탄 발자국. 동일 인물. 건달은 여자를 납치하려 했다. 살해할 기회가 있었으나 그것은 건달이 원하는 바가 아니었다. 데리고 가려고만 했지 죽이려고 하지 않았다. 누군가의 부하, 도둑이면서 납치범이기도 하다. 임무를 하는 사람이다. 대충 이렇게 해놓고 저기 신문 사러 가보자고.
Is this?
뭐야?
I just need to collect my thoughts, Sharon.
돈 뭐 왜래 또? 무슨 기억이 있나? 신문. 사업가. 이게 신문으로는 안 되나? 선택지가 저긴데? 잠깐만, 이거 신문 말고 저기 시청으로 가야 되나? 시청.
Treasure maps from the governor. Find 8 and come back for more.
시청 입구가 어디죠? 에? 아, 여기구나. 대상, 사업체. 구역을 스칼라디오. 버나도티 요한회사 요약. 그는 중요한 예술계 호황가 및 코르도나 사회복지 투자가로 발돋움했다. 그렇군.
What a lovely man this Bernadotte is, eh,
대단한
Sherry?
인물이야.
Can't wait until we get to meet him.
기업 정 본사가 동남 스칼칼리오. 로만가 교차로 근처. 로만가. 연결로 찍어두고 갑시다. 로만가 근처에 바자가네. 여긴가? 여기 어딘가? 스칼라디오 서점. 서점도 있네. 여기야. 여기. 여기 맞을 텐데? 이게 아니면 밤이라서 그런 건 아니겠지? 아마 여기 뭐야, 세인트 피터 교회. 진짜 잠을 안 자요, 셜록은. 잠도 안 자고 맨날 사건만 해결하러 다니는. 여긴 뭐지?
These
여기
workers
아니야?
don't look like your average carbone
여기가
They're
본사네.
refugees from the camp.
찾았다.
That's our way in, Sherry.
오케이.
Hey, yo. This is private property. You lost something.
아니, 존. 저기 앉아있는 거 봐.
Good day, sir. I've been sent by City Hall to see Mr. Bernadotte about...
Mr. Bernadotte isn't seeing anyone. You have 3 seconds to walk away or you'll never walk again. Capito?
It's in Mr. Bernadotte's best interest to...
One.
어머. 어머 맞겠어. 떠나 일단 떠나.
This has been miserable.
분장할 수
think.
있지
We
않을까?
know what the fellows from the gang look
그래.
like. You can
어떻게
easily
생겼는지
blend in.
아니까 변장을 하는 걸로. 문신 변장을 해야겠네. 얘는 뭐지? 부탁? 내사. 충돌 없이 들어갈 방법을 찾아야 한다고 고집했다. 그래. 변장을 합시다. 그러면 이것도 내가 사야 되나? 문신 이거? 아 여기 빠른 이동도 없어. 열받게. 여기 있네. 일단 옷가게가 여기 옷가게. 이거 뭐야?
Nice affordable clothes. Let's pick something that suits you.
옷은 뭘 입어야 할까요? 일단은 문신화장 대여하고. 아,
Be careful with what you
붉은
take.
드레스는 뭐냐고. 아니면 그냥 문신만 있어도 될 듯? 이 상태로 가보자. 그냥 걸어가도 되겠다. 여기서도 가까웠네. 이것도 일부러 어깨빵 맞으려고 근처에 오는 거 아니야? 아닌가? 엿듣기가 뜬 거 같았는데. 어디지? 아, 한 칸 더 내려가서. 그치, 이거 아니면 말이라도 사야 돼. 말 타고 댕기게.
Hey, stop. Who are you? Haven't seen you before.
Didn't see you either, mate. I'm John. Just shipped in from London. Cheap bastards had me sharing a bunk with two others.
Aye, that sounds like Bernadotte. Why are you here?
A problem at the refugee camp. I need to report to Mr. Bernadotte. The sooner the better.
I knew it was only a matter of time until those savages stirred up trouble. Go on, get inside.
바로 통과. 안 싸우고 들어올 수 있었네. 좋아요. 와우, 여기 싸웠으면 큰일 날 뻔.
You did
애들
it, Sherry.
무서운데?
A full immersion into the criminal underworld.
그러니까 사기꾼 하면 탐정보다 돈 더 많이 벌겠어.
The
자,
silver and treasure, mate. Loads of pirate gold buried somewhere around, just waiting to be found.
엿듣기 안
It's all
되나?
rot. There's no treasure.
But maybe there
여기가 버나도티가
is.
Jerry,
있나요?
look.
The bloody riddle.
This seems familiar.
이 악마 그림.
Let's see what's hidden there.
이게 원본이야? 이거 되게 야하게 돼 있구만.
Vogel's stolen painting. Isn't it curious how it developed into a much more interesting case?
이게 원본이군. 그래.
Hello, friend. Tough day, eh?
안녕. 지금 저 그림 때문에 사람이 2명이 죽었어요. 자, 이건 뭐야? 제플린 관련 신문? 이게 왜?
I suppose it's Mr. Bernadotte with our fine governor.
총독과 함께 찍은 사진.
1875. It was taken a few years back. John, how many people in Cordona have a photograph with the governor, do you think?
You definitely don't have one. This is it. This is where all the magic happens.
문이 어디야?
Excuse me, Mr. Bernadotte is busy right now.
그렇군요.
Sir, you're obstructing the light.
아,
Could you step
네.
back?
무도의 초청? 시청의 상징?
Sir, you're obstructing the light. Could you step back?
The Bernadotte Company Limited Trade.
이걸로 해야 되네.
Network reaches the most distant colonies of the great empire.
It must be very convenient for a man like Bernadotte.
다른 출입구를 찾아야 한다.
May I ask for your assistance?
Hey, Toff. You have exactly 1 minute to get lost.
여기 친구들이 좀 살벌하구만. 다른 출입구.
If the damn idiot hadn't stolen the canary, I'd be bathing in silver down in the mines. Instead of this.
다른 출입구 어떻게 찾냐?
Is this familiar to you?
Sorry. We
아,
don't
이렇게
see
하면
much
또
here.
존한테 혼나는데?
This marble fella. It's like he was made
Oh,
after
뭐야,
my
이거?
image.
An amazing
see
piece
it?
of culture. I imagine many collectors and museums would be interested in having it.
이것도 있어? 헉, 이거 놓칠 뻔?
Masks, traditional for the Chokwe people of Central Africa. VH Grindley Flow Blue tableware. A Dogon statue from West Africa.
보건족 조각상.
A century old at least. This is what lies behind the facade of Bernadotte Company Limited.
여긴가? 아닌데.
Could you help me?
Oh, sir, I'm afraid I don't know about that.
아!
Someone will be punished for letting you in. But first, let's talk.
혈육인가? 딸내미 사진?
Whenever you're ready. I'd hate to intrude.
관찰한다. 오, 좀 다른 문신이군요. 지저분한 일을 피하지 않는다. 헬라그라를 알았다. 냉혈한 단지, 기혼 계산적인 배우 인물 계산적인 사업가이다. 자신감이 넘치며 위협적인 분위기를 풍긴다. 저거 조직 내부에서 지위를 나타내는 암호의 확률이 높다. 무자비한 조직 두목. 3층과 거리를 둔다? 무자비한 조직 두목.
Bad news. The thug you sent to the refugee camp only succeeded in stabbing himself. His next and final journey will be to the morgue.
Hold your horses. Who the hell are you?
Sherlock Holmes. And you are Niccolo Bernadotti, a smuggler, kidnapper, and notorious cutthroat, among other things.
Few men would dare waltz into my office and address me like that. You are
틀렸군.
either overconfident or
진짜
unintelligent.
틀렸군.
This is private property. Give me one reason why I should not shoot you on the spot. I am sure my friends at the station would call it self-defense.
무자비하네. 보니파스
Mr.
메르쿠리오.
Bernadotti, do you know the name Boniface Mercurio?
I do not.
Mercurio was a local artist. Recently, a man broke into his apartment, ransacked the place, and killed him. The thief was looking for something.
You are testing my patience, boy.
In a moment, the connection will reveal itself.
당신의 부하가
As I said,
사망했습니다.
your man was found dead in the refugee camp.
저른발이 놈.
He was there to kidnap a woman, but the other refugees intervened to try and save her. The ensuing scuffle resulted in the man's accidental suicide. He sported the same tattoo as your men in this building. In fact, it also bears a resemblance to the one on your neck. Care to explain what business your man had with this woman?
You have no idea what you are talking about. I can assure you this was no kidnapping. The refugees in the camp are on edge. What happened there is a tragic accident, one I am not responsible for.
For what reason was your man there if not to abduct her?
Why would I answer? You are yet to justify your presence in the slightest.
그쵸? 틀릴 수도 있어요.
I was hired privately to investigate the recent theft
근데
of a painting from an
틀렸다고
art
나오질
gallery.
않은.
My investigation led me to a man from your
정확하게 안
organization and
알려준다니까?
thus to you, Mr. Bernadotti.
That is quite a stretch. Why would I need to steal a painting when I could buy anyone I wanted?
Interestingly enough, I spotted the stolen painting in your storeroom.
I
거의
buy and
그냥
sell a lot of things, Mr.
코에
Holmes.
걸면 코걸이, 귀에 걸면
Unfortunately,
귀걸이
if
같은
this is
느낌?
true, it is not the first time I have been sold stolen merchandise. I presume you were hired by the owner of the gallery. Tell them to contact me, and we'll sort out the situation. So, this painting is why you broke into my office. So many words, so little action. When you barged into my office, Mr. Holmes, I got the impression you wanted to talk business. Now I see you had come just to talk. Tell me exactly what you want, or get out.
It was necessary groundwork for what comes next. I have enough evidence to conclude that the gallery thief, the artist's killer, and the dead man in the camp are all the same person.
Your time is almost up,
아,
Mr.
설마 또
Holmes.
전투인가?
Before you draw your gun, there is one final detail I am yet to mention. The young woman your man was tasked to collect from the refugee camp had been defiled at a perverse masquerade party. That violation was captured in a photograph by Boniface Mercurio and used as a reference for his painting. The photo shows the attacker's face.
Finally. That's why you're here, Mr. Holmes. You have the photograph.
It is what your man was after when he broke into Mercurio's apartment, and it is
그치, 내가
what you're
챙겼지,
after too,
사진을.
isn't it, Mr. Bernadotte?
You have the photograph with you. How much do you want for it?
I am not naive enough to carry it with me, and I am compelled to ask why you want it.
근데 안
Who
챙겼군.
is the man visible in the photograph? An associate?
Not yet, Mr. Holmes. Though with this picture, that may change. The man in the photo is a British envoy on Cordona.
What exactly do you want from him?
My business dealings are often arduous in their bureaucracy. A man in his position, willing to look the other way, could ease my work significantly. In return, I will make sure no one looks his way either. A favor for a favor.
Also known as blackmail, the modus operandi of any true professional.
It was not originally my idea. Mercurio set things in motion, extorting the envoy for the most trivial of ends. Money. In response, the envoy hired my man to retrieve the painting and the photograph, eliminating Mercurio's leverage. I only learned the whole story after the artist was killed in his home.
And rather than extricate yourself, instead you took over Mercurio's venture.
It fell into my lap. As a businessman, I simply seized the opportunity. Now, how much do you want for the image?
여자는 왜 필요했나요?
Why did you send your man to remove the woman from the camp?
Without a photograph, her testimony was the next best thing. Securing her was in everyone's interest. Victims and witnesses all too often disappear. I thought the girl was safer with us. I did not anticipate what would happen at the camp.
셜록 홈즈가 좀 그치 너무 잘난 척하고 막 싸가지 없이 얘기하고.
I could not help but
지가
appreciate the
제일
collection of
잘났어.
smuggled artifacts in your storeroom. You have rather diversified your business.
Oh, high and mighty of you, Mr. Holmes. Not all smuggling is immoral. I pay generous rates to developing cultures and spread their culture to eager buyers.
아, 친구도
Furthermore,
상상
I
친구.
supply many immigrants with a taste of home.
A very convenient way of
제일
thinking.
눈물남.
I have traveled wildly, Mr. Holmes. I've seen people in far-flung lands for whom my services are a lifeline. Without them, they would starve. The tax on cargo is often so absurd that it would be more profitable to simply sink your ship than dock it in the harbor. And trust me, I am speaking
이거
from
아마
experience.
체포하거나 모른 척 해주거나 뭐 그런
I
선택지가
saw
있나
refugees
본데?
from the camp at your warehouse. They work for you.
I have made certain arrangements with City Hall and the police. Thanks to me, refugees can work and be paid. It's a pathway to freedom.
And how much do you save by capitalizing on their cheap labor?
I have heard no complaints. They seem happy just to get out of that slum.
사진을 준다고
Why should I
하면?
give you the photograph?
Just name your price.
What if my price were not money? You claim to have connections, Mr. Bernadotte. Perhaps you could improve conditions for the
모른 척하고
refugees.
난민 생활 개선하기.
Give them a chance for a better life.
아니면 체포하고 난민 생활 그대로
I do
놔두기.
have connections, Mr. Holmes, but help the whole camp? You are asking too much. I
여기
could,
선택해야 되는
however,
건가?
make arrangements for one person. The woman who was violated will have her own home outside the camp, solely for her and her child.
헐.
She will no longer be a refugee, but a princess. That I can guarantee.
Is that really possible?
It will be neither fast nor easy, but I can do it. She deserves it, don't you agree? And as for her abuser,
어려운데?
he will serve me as much as he deserves.
So, in your plan, everybody will be given their due. Especially you, Mr. Bernadotte.
Seems like a fair deal, no? I doubt anyone could offer you better. Simply give me the photograph, and the world becomes a better place. I give you my word.
What makes you think you can decide what's best for these people?
왜 이 사람들이
Such
나한테
is the
이러는 거야
arrogance
진짜.
of British imperialism. I take your point.
선택지를 나한테 주네. 방문객은 사진을 찾으려고 왔었고, 사진? 좀 뭔가 이상한 파티였던 사진. 성폭행 사진이죠. 고위급 관료. 이거 조사할 수 있는데? 영국의 고위 공무원? 가볼까? 어차피 여기는 끝난 거 같고.
Please, sir, do not linger.
이거 찾으려면은 일단은 시청? 누누님 안녕하세요. 대충 시청 한번 가봤다가 시청이 뭐 자꾸 헷갈려. 너무 넓어. 공무원. 잠깐만, 이거 아닌데. 여기다. 직업? 구역. 응? 오케이, 찍신! 토마스 노튼 1840년 런던 출생. 어쩌고 저쩌고 시청에 사무실 마련됨. 이걸로다가 대화를 해볼 수 있네. 어디다가 물어보지? 아까 그 걔한테 물어보나? 야, 조언을 스쳐. 왜 따봉이랑 이게 있는데 왜지? 지루하게 서류 뒤적거리는 시간을 싫어한다는 걸 알고 있다 라고 하네. 잠이나 잘하고. 존 진짜 완전 잔소리쟁이요. 어떡하면 좋아? 아까 저기로 가보자. 여기로. 근데 이런 거 찾아도 내가 선택지가 어떻게 바뀔 수가 있을까? 뭔가 사실 현실적으로 생각하면 그냥 모른 채 하고 난민 이제 여자의 생활을 보장을 받으면서 이렇게 모른 척 입 싹 닫고 하는 게 나름 현실적이긴 한데. 괜히 체포해서 넣었다가 나중에 보복이 생기면 어떡해. 그 여자도 보장되지도 않고. 어렵구만. 여기서 물어보자. 아, 여기서 대화하는 게 아니야? 누구랑 대화하는 거지? 누구한테 물어보냐 이거를?
Help me, please.
I'm so sorry. I can't help you, sir.
아, 시청에서 물어봐야 되나? 아, 바본가? 그럴 수 있지.
A contest for the guests of Cordon.
생각해보니까 그래. 난민 보장하는 김에 나도 뭔가 보상받아야 되는 거 아니야? 입 닫는 돈.
Have you found anything helpful?
웽, 대화해줘.
Do you know anything about this?
I'd tell you if I knew, but unfortunately, I don't.
뭐야, 다 아무도 안 알려줘. 알려줘. 누구랑 대화해야 돼, 이거?
I'll be right here.
시청의 사무실, 여기잖아요. 이거에 대해서 아나요?
May I ask for your assistance?
Oh, I'm sorry, but that's beyond my knowledge.
여기구만. 얘 여기 있네. 토마스 노트.
If you're here on matters of signing up for military service, come back
Fucking.
tomorrow. Our department needs to straighten out some business.
보자, 지난밤 잠들지 못했다. 면도할 시간도 없음. 항상 하고 있어서 낡았다. 어머? 뭐야? 야, 왜 피를 뻔하게 묻히고 있어? 아, 와인인가? 아직 물음표기 때문에 와인, 진짜 와인인지 피인지 모름. 그 다음에 얘 그러고 보니까 파란 색깔 셔츠를 입고 있는데? 이거 그 화가집에서 싸웠을 때 파란 저기 옷. 어허. 최근에 와인을 마셨다는 뜻이다. 어쩌고저쩌고 특사는 후회하고 있다. 아니면 파티를 좋아한다. 일보다는 타락과 알코올에 몰두할 것이다. 이 사람은 파티를 좋아한다. 자신의 의무에 대한 게으른 태도를 보여준다.
Why are you staring at me like I'm a Madame Tussauds figure? Didn't you hear what I just said?
On my way here, I was wondering whether you might regret what you did. I tried my best to retain at least a shred of faith in humanity. I had hoped that you would hear her scream, see her face in your dreams, or at least once asked yourself how Naylor might feel.
Who?
Neither of my hopes were fulfilled.
Why are you here?
사진을 보여준다.
Do you recognize this man?
We definitely look alike. But you have the wrong person.
Really? Then you won't mind if I
아,
pass this along
얘한테
to
이제
the
데려
newspaper?
협박하는
All right.
거구만.
All right. Is this about money, as you said in the letter? What kind of sum are we talking about?
I've never written a single word to you. Bribery, not my style.
So, that letter, it wasn't from you?
Well, it appears that more and more people in the city are finding out about your despicable hobby, doesn't it? You're in the clutches of justice, and very soon they will squeeze you. It's in your best interest to cooperate.
Fine. I suppose now we have a nice long talk. Do you drink, Mr.
Sherlock Holmes. And I do not.
술은 안
Shame.
마십니다.
All the best discussions are accompanied by a glass of whiskey. But out of respect for you, I won't drink either.
Respect? That's an unusual word in your mouth, Mr.
Where are my manners? My name is Thomas Norton, a British envoy in Cordona on a military mission. So, where do we start?
파티에서 무슨
So,
일이
let's
있었나요?
return to the beginning. What happened at the party?
I vaguely remember that night. As usual at such parties, you meet people, you talk with them. They
기억이
invite
나지
you to spend
않는다.
some time alone with them. What can I say? I got myself mixed up with the wrong company, and somebody must have mixed some psychoactive substance in my drink. After that, it's all blurry. I completely lost my sanity. I made a terrible mistake which I regret deeply.
You don't say. Do refugee girls often appear on the menu at those types of parties?
It's rather rare.
So you didn't attend the party to engage in an exotic experience involving a vulnerable woman unable to accuse you of assault?
I would never have planned such a terrible thing. What happened
똑바로
was just
얘기하십시오.
bad circumstance.
그림을
The
훔치려고
painting that
했나요?
depicted you in the image of the devil was stolen by a mercenary. Did you have anything to do with it?
I might be a rotten person, sir, but hiring criminals for illicit purposes is not in my daily schedule.
And buying the painting in an attempt to hide the crime, is that on your daily schedule?
What would you do in my situation?
I would never put myself in such a situation.
You're young. I could never have imagined myself in my current position. Yet, here I am in front of you. We all make mistakes, Mr. Holmes. And I'm no exception.
이것도 실수라는 거야?
Boniface
메르쿠리오.
Mercurio, does the name mean anything to you?
He's an artist, right?
The one responsible for the painting that compromises you. I found him dead in his room.
Oh, that is bad. Wait, you don't think that I have anything to do with this?
You had motive to kill him.
Maybe I did, but listen. I know how this looks, but murder? That's on another level. I had thoughts that this Mercutio...
Mercurio?
Well, him, yes. I thought he could have been the blackmailer. But I was too afraid to make any hasty decisions. There were plenty of ways to fail by making a move, so I chose to wait. To see what he would do next. You have to believe me.
I don't believe people, I believe evidence.
Then look at the evidence.
You mentioned blackmail. Tell me about it.
All right. A couple of days ago, I received an anonymous letter. It said that in the art gallery at Caravansary there exists a painting that incriminates me. The blackmailer made it clear that if there is a painting, then a photograph exists too. And I should be wary of what it might do to my reputation.
What does the blackmailer want from you?
Money, of course. What else do such people want? Needless to say, I don't remember anyone taking photographs at the party. Up until the last moment, I hoped he was bluffing. But he wasn't, as you've just proven to me.
Show me the letter.
I burnt it as soon as I read it. I've left enough evidence. There's no need for any more. Mr. Holmes, I've built my entire career on hard work and uncompromising
그래서 어떻게 할
dedication to the craft.
것인가?
I made a mistake, but I'm not a villain from some cheap adventure fiction. By putting me behind bars, you will benefit precisely no one.
Rotting in prison is the least you deserve, but I have a better idea.
문제는
You will
그거야.
make amends and
그래서
help
어떻게
the
할
ones you hurt.
것인가? 난민을 도와라, 닐라를 도와라. 뭐야, 벌써 정해? 어머. 일단 닐라를
Layla deserves
도와야지.
the very utmost of what you can do.
Help the girl? I can't risk the press paying extra attention to her. I will do anything except that.
That's not all.
난민도 도와요.
Use your connections to help patriate the refugees, find
닐라랑
them
난민
decent
둘 다
homes,
도와.
give them jobs. There must be a meaning to your position and my decision.
Yes, all right, I can do that. So, will you give me the photograph now?
I need to think this all through. Don't do anything foolish in the meantime.
What makes you think you can decide what's best for these
아,
people?
어차피 결정하는 건 똑같네. 증거를 숨기고 싶어 한다. 버나도티도 협박 자료를 모아놨고요. 아, 이거, 허허. 버나도티는 특사를 협박하고 싶어 한다. 아. 아니면 일단 닐라가 좀 제일 챙겨야 될 순위가 높긴 한데, 자비 없는 정의. 버나도티와 특사는 끔찍한 상황을 자신에게 유리하게 이용하려 한다. 사진을 보기를 건네면 모든 것을 대중에게 알릴 것이다. 하지만 닐라와 아이가 행복하게 살게 해주겠다는 약속은 설득력 있게 들린다. 이것이야말로 지금 가장 중요한 것이다. 일단 이게 나름 제일 현실적인 것 같아. 어차피 대중들이 알아봤자 어차피 다시 복귀할 거야. 그러면은 뒷감당 못하는 뭐 또 보복이 있을 수도 있고. 일단 숨기고 닐라와 아이가 행복하게 살게 해주겠다는 약속으로 갑시다. 가자. 버나도티한테 가면 되겠지? 나는 내 선택을 후회하지 않아. 버나도티한테 사진을 주자. 근데 영국 특사를 협박하려고 주는 거라서 또 불쌍하긴 하네. 근데 왜 영국 특사 선택지는 없지? 아까 대화 다 하고 맞춰보니까는 생길 순 있는데 내가 이 증거들을 많이 안 모았나? 어차피 뭐 일도 제대로 안 하는 것 같은데 뭐 협박 당하든 말든. 자.
If I give you the photograph, how do I know you will not come after me?
Mr. Holmes, you are not a threat. The local authorities owe me favors. For all your confidence, you cannot actually harm me. Besides, I like you and your approach to business. We are not dissimilar. Pragmatists to a fault.
Indeed, I cannot ignore the just outcomes in what you have proposed. All right, take the photograph.
닐라의 삶을 꼭 보장해 주십시오.
You are a hard man to read, Mr. Holmes. I couldn't tell if you actually had it. Fear not. This decision will bear its fruits soon enough. One more thing, Mr. Holmes. Now that I have the photo, you may as well take Mr. Mercurio's painting back to the gallery. Please,
사진을
send my apologies.
그림을 돌려주러 가겠습니다. 뭐야?
Mr. Holmes, you've returned. Have you uncovered anything new about the theft?
뭐야, 무서워.
I've brought news, but not all of it will please you.
Fill me in, Mr. Holmes. I won't shoot the messenger.
메르크리온 죽었습니다.
I tracked down Boniface Mercurio.
I presume he wasn't delighted about the situation.
He was not having a good day. on account of his murder. Killed in his own flat by the same person that stole his painting.
Oh, sweet Mercurio. Perishing in the pursuit of his art. How apt. I will miss his exceptional sense of humor.
도둑도
I
죽었다.
located the thief, but found him rather cold. He was tight-lipped about the painting, too.
Huh, he's dead. How very droll, Mr. Holmes. One presumes you were not responsible.
It was an accident at the refugee camp. He impaled himself on his own knife.
Life is nothing if not cruel and capricious. What about the stolen
다
painting?
죽었어.
Have you located it?
Yes, it's here.
Splendid! I'm most grateful, Mr. Holmes. It must have been a difficult task. Will you share your adventures with me?
I cannot, Mr. Vogel. The story is much like your undergallery. Not for everyone's eyes and ears.
So sometimes you do hide the truth. What has happened to your crusade?
I'm not on a crusade. I simply do not owe you the story.
It was not an attack, Mr. Holmes. If you've chosen to keep secrets, I'll respect it. Besides, the truth is often more boring than the mystery. No?
It is what it is, Mr. Vogel.
Well, now that we've resolved all of our outstanding matters, I have a gift for you. I took the liberty of having it delivered to Stonewood Manor. I am told it belonged to
우리
your mother.
엄마 거? 뭘 찾았나요?
And what exactly have you sent me?
Frankly, I'm not sure how to answer that. I trust you'll know.
가구인가 본데?
Previously, you mentioned there may have been more to my mother's passing than consumption. It appears you were right.
Oh dear. I'd hoped to be wrong.
She was unstable, mentally unwell. She required sustained specialized treatment, but her madness persisted.
I knew that Violet had disappeared from the public eye, but had
뭐야, 내
no
턱 잡고
idea
있는
of
거야,
her
지금?
suffering. I cannot imagine what you're feeling.
I'm fine.
남의 턱을
Thank you,
함부로
Mr.
잡아요.
Vogel. I am curious to see what you have procured.
진짜 어이없어. 자, 아무튼 사건 하나 완료했습니다. 가서 우리 엄마 물건을 확인하면 될 듯. 엄마 물건 확인하러 가기 전에 신문 한번 사볼까? 사건 그래서 어떻게 되는지 신문은 못 참지.
Extra!
역사에서 지워진 화가.
Interested in some Cordona news?
왜 하나 주십시오.
Check the front page. You won't regret it.
어딨지? 결과. 파선행위가 지역 화랑에서 일어난 파선행위가 명성 있는 화가 보니파스 메르코리오의 작품 훼손으로 이어졌다. 화가가 살해당해 더 이상 걸작을 그릴 수 없다는 것이다. 어제 자신의 집에서 사망한 채 발견됐고 아직 사건을 파악하는 중이다. 경찰 측은 진행중 수사라며 발언을 거부했으나 크로도나 권력에 굴하지 않고 진실 수호인으로 맹세한다. 짜란. 그냥 화가의 죽음만 나왔네. 우리가 이제 쉬쉬했던 불법 모임과 관련됐다는 건 또 나오긴 했는데 그렇게 화가만 안타까운 죽음을 맞이하고 말았다. 미안해. 어쩔 수가 없었다. 우리 닐라를 살리려면 이거야? 어머.
It's a bizarre object, and yet oddly familiar.
이런 게 집에 있었어?
Did you just remember something?
Yes. A
방
room full
하나
of
오픈.
curiosities and artifacts. I think I can find it in the manor.
Sherlock. So, you continue to pursue the imaginary.
어?
I had hoped
형인가?
you might have got all this out of your system by now.
Mycroft. What are you doing here? Get out of my house.
It's my house, actually. I've come to bring you back.
I have no interest in returning, let alone with you. I know you lied about Mother all these years, claiming she was merely ill, but she was unstable. She never had tuberculosis. She was not recuperating, but mentally deteriorating, and you never once thought to tell me. How dare you?
I shall not indulge this petulant tantrum. You
근데
can just
왜
tie yourself
솔직하게
up
얘기 안
and then
해주는
slink
거야?
back to London with your tail between your
이러니까
legs.
반항하지.
Just tell me everything.
그래, 말해.
I'm an adult now. Show me the basic courtesy of an explanation. You know I will find out eventually.
The goal was stability, and that's what you got. The right thing for everyone was to try and move on from her passing.
The consequences of one's
근데
actions
기억하면 안
determines what is
되는
right or wrong.
일이라던가
Exactly.
그럼
The
곤란하긴
ends
하지.
justify the means. After leaving Cordona, Sherlock, you had a normal childhood. In London, I was able to support you, guide you, shape you into a fine and productive young man. You have so much potential, so much to offer society.
But that's not the end. Now I found the truth, and it has shattered everything I knew about her, about you, and about myself. I feel unstable because of you. Your actions are not justified. Lying never is.
Oh, grow up, Sherlock. It was a white lie which has as much use in the
하얀
realm of the
거짓말.
interpersonal
그래.
as the international. It
그런
is
거일
time
수도
you
있어.
come to accept that some things are bigger than yourself.
Oh, you are full of it. You like to pretend you care about the big picture, but it's just an ego trip. You like knowing more than others. You like greasing palms and rubbing shoulders with the rich and powerful. You like having eyes and ears everywhere. The fact it helps the nation is incidental, because all you care about is yourself.
It's true. I have agents everywhere, including Cordona. If you weren't so damn stubborn, you'd realize that means I'm only here for you.
형의 화가 많이 났네.
Just look at this thing. It's huge.
이렇게 다음 방이 있군요. 다음 방은 내일 하겠습니다.